does it matter? Why do these guys want to pit fellow Americans against each other? Whose agenda does it serve? It sure doesn't serve the average American. And that's why I named this the State of the Union, because at the end of the day, and the United States is made up of immigrants. And we could talk about the history, we could talk about colonization, we could talk about slavery, Jim Crow, and all of that. And it's definitely a part of the story. But today, we have different groups of people living together. The State of the Union, it's a union, the United States. It's you know, technically it's probably multiple countries within a country already, you know, but somehow we find a way to be together as one country. And if you guys want that to continue, then we need to continue to find a way, you know, to work it out to the point where we can be one country. Okay. It's going to always be different peoples and different perspectives and different ideas and different politics. Always going to be that's always going to be the case. But the strength is in the unity. You know, you want to continue to enjoy your protection. Like things can be worse, right? Things can definitely be worse. They can continue to get worse, and our protection comes from the unity of the country. You know, so your neighbor is not your enemy. Your neighbor is not your enemy. Your neighbor is going through the same thing you're going through, and you just need to internalize that, regardless of what your neighbor looks like, regardless of what your neighbor's politics are. You know, we're all going through the same thing, and we just need to find a way to keep the unity, keep it together. One thing I have to say about that, though, if you are disputing my humanity, if you don't look at me as a human, there's no way to find a middle ground there. There's no way to have unity there. So then the one that you're looking at as not a human, the problem isn't with them. The problem is with you. And that's where the change needs to happen. You need to see them as a human, because they are. They are. They're not something other than human. They are human. And humanity, we are social creatures. We thrive in groups. And that's what has brought us to where we are today, as far as basically the dominant species on the planet. That's how we got here. The disunity, the fighting, the you're in the bush and you're running from some predators or whatever. Somebody gets hurt or something. You help each other. It's a drought and there's not much food. And we're talking about in the bush. We're talking about early humans back in the days, right? You help each other. You share the food. And that's how, because you knew that your strength was in the different groups. I mean, the different peoples within the group. The smaller their group was, the less strength it had and the less durability it had. You have somebody who knows how to do this, you have somebody that knows how to do that, and somebody who knows how to do this, and y'all work together, and that's how y'all survive as a group. If they was like, oh, that person is a Republican, or that person is LGBTQ, well, we're excluding them from the group, Now, somebody that knows how to do a certain thing is missing. Somebody that knows how to do another certain thing is missing. And now the group perishes. Y'all starve in the forest or something. You know, that person that got injured that y'all didn't help passed away, and now the group dies because that person had an intricate knowledge about, something that was important to for the survival of the group. I know y'all understand what I'm saying. What I'm trying to say is that this way of thinking is not good for the species. It's not good for the survival of the species, and it's going to lead in the opposite direction. You know, there's been many species that has come and gone in the history of Earth. Okay, you know, and we like to look like we like to think that we, I don't know, been here forever, we're indestructible or whatever, but it's just not. It's not the case. I mean, you look at the history of the Earth, and this, you know, look at the dinosaurs. There's no guarantees. There's no guarantees. You know, and for us to be able to have durability and to be able to survive, then we have to find some unity. We got to find some common ground. We got to find that common humanity. I think that's good. I think we're going to wrap it on that. Peace and love. Thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for joining.